welcome to Your Mental Health Matters. My name is Crystal Kelly. I am your host for this evening, and this episode is brought to you by ONV. So, we are back at it. We are so happy to be back in the building. I know it's been a while. I know you guys missed us. And so, we have an amazing group. We got an amazing topic that we're going to get into tonight. And so we have the Center of Nonviolence in the house. Come on. Yes. And so we wanted you guys to introduce yourselves. So whoever want to start.
My name is Brandon Islas Gutierrez, and I work in our prevention programming. So we work with kids to help them be better nonviolent leaders. I also am training to be an intervention facilitator in our abuse intervention programming.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Elena Silva. I am the Prevention and Youth Services Co-Coordinator, and I work in the prevention program.
Welcome.
My name is Susana Ruiz Vieyra. I work in support and advocacy. I help survivors of domestic violence and other forms of violence. And once in a while, I dabble in women's intervention for Spanish-speaking abusers.
All right, welcome.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, great having you
for
guys.
coming. And so we just got out of October, which was domestic violence, right? Month. And so we just thought it would be a great idea to have you guys here because you guys do so much for us in this community. And so can you guys kind of share what the Center of Nonviolence is about? How long has it been established? All that good stuff.
Sure. So the Center for Nonviolence was founded in 1981, if I have the year correct. So it's been around a while. It started off as Men for Nonviolence. So there's always been this underlying motivation to work toward the feminist ideal that we can end violence, gender-based violence, and anything that comes from that hierarchy that's been created in a patriarchal society.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, so within our services, we offer prevention services, support and advocacy, and intervention services. And for the prevention services, we offer our Faces Nonviolent Leadership Program, which is a program that ends or challenges the norms that cause gender violence. So we speak with kiddos, providing the skills and the tools to work within conflict, to provide the tools to see the leader within themselves and give them that confidence to show that they do have power within the community, no matter their age.
I love that.
Right on.
And what age do you start at?
So our program, we offer it through all ages, really. Our program in elementary school, we mainly have our program there, but we do have other programs within the community. So we also go into community centers such as McMillan. We go to Weiser Park during the summertime and provide programming there for them. And also just within the community as well with other nonprofits. So like Bring It, Push It, Own It. We've also worked, oh goodness, I'm losing my brain. Oh, in the Allen County Public Library as well with our after school program. So we work with all ages.
I love that. So I guess I want to see the process. Like, what is the process or how does it look like to get connected with services when it comes to the Center of the Nonviolence?
I know for like support and advocacy, our services are at will. So right now, survivors just call, walk in. Other agencies, we get a lot of referrals from other agencies. We work a lot with victim assistance. We get referrals sometimes from Healthy Moms and Babies.
Yes.
We get the referrals from DCS, but they're not like mandated to work with us. And I think that's one of the good points of working with an advocate that you choose. The advocate supports you, and our services are free of charge. So whether a client needs, sometimes we need to pick up a client for them to be able to make it to their appointment. Sometimes it's not safe for them to come to our building, so we do virtual sessions with them. And it puts the power in their hands, especially when someone has always tried to take away their power.
So do you have a time limit for the sessions once an individual starts with you? Is there like a 6-week course or they can go indefinitely?
In support and advocacy, there's not like a limit of like, I know sometimes like case managers, they'll be assigned to someone maybe for 6 months or for a couple sessions. But they're with us as long as they want to be with us. The support groups that I help facilitate for women who have survived violence, there's been women that it's so amazing every time they share how long we have a new member come and they share how long they've been in group. There's women that have been in that group for like 26 years.
Wow.
Just because they found a good community,
Right.
they have built friendships outside of that group. So we never want to tell somebody that they're ready to stop coming to group. If something draws them back to that group,
Right.
we like to have them as long as they want to be there.
Okay.
But I know for intervention services, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, for our intervention program, we have a 27-week program. Our curriculum runs the full 27 weeks. It's under the Duluth model. So yeah, we offer those services kind of in 3 phases. So each 9 weeks, like the participants who go through the program, they're usually referred to spy courts as per terms of their probation, and yeah, we work with them to get a better understanding of how to navigate in the relationships, whatever conflict might arise, and really just hopefully to make that transformative change that they can come out the other end of the program with a different perspective and a different way of managing certain things.
I love that.
I just wanted to add, it's not just folks that were court ordered. Anyone can attend as well. Just if they would want us to grow from themselves, they can attend as well.
So with the court ordered ones, do you have a lot of resistance from those individuals in their participation?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. So yeah, I think anytime that there's something mandated on someone, or something that goes through a lot of the systems put in place by the criminal justice system, there is some pushback. There is some feeling of resentment toward having to fulfill this or accomplish certain things. Yeah. And so, yeah, we do feel that. We hear a lot of that mostly in the beginning of their time with us, like their first few groups. Like a lot of them have this sort of sense of needing to air out their grievances with that process mostly. And so like we take some time to hear them out and offer an ear, but then also really turn the page toward the work that needs to be done to hold folks accountable and to have them reach the point where they can hold themselves accountable.
That part right there.
Now, you mentioned DCS and your after school program at the Allen County Public Library. Do you guys collaborate with any other mental health organizations in the area?
Not so much. We do have within our LGBTQ plus support group for middle and high school age teens, we've had mental health therapists come into the group and just talk about general services of mental health, like basic terminology, and just getting them connected with therapists if they're looking for therapists, because we can refer out to therapists, especially with support and advocacy.
Support and advocacy, we have sometimes clients will want and request a therapist, and none of us are licensed therapists at the Center for Nonviolence. So when we do have those requests, we do try to refer out. We refer a lot to Bowen, Courageous Healing, Alliance Health Centers, Neighborhood House,
Uniquely counseling.
Yeah.
See, I'm heart to soul.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And then we're always looking to build relationships with different counseling services because, I mean, there's so much need and there's clients everywhere. We're all in need of counseling sometimes. So, yes, if we can always refer out and build great connections. And it's always nice when they're like, but do you know somebody there? And then I'm like, yeah, I do. I actually do.
Makes a difference.
It does.
So I know we were talking before the podcast about the growth of services since COVID. So what's the increase? Is there a number you guys know, off the top of your head, since COVID has happened, a rise in services dealing with violence?
In support and advocacy, I believe the number's not 100%, but ballpark last year we served around 600 people, and that it's contacts with individuals. So, that's just for my program. Okay. So I don't know if in prevention or in intervention we have a number.
So I don't think there's a number necessarily at the top of my head. I know that a big part of our recent increases in staffing, particularly, come from the intervention and just knowing that there's a need for more folks are coming in through referrals, and so there's that push toward expanding our intervention
Right.
program, like more groups, or
Mhm.
even splitting up groups so that if one group's bigger, it gives the opportunity for two groups to grow.
Right,
So,
right.
What's the average size group?
average size, I think it would vary between like 8 to 10 virtually. Our in-person group is pretty small currently.
Okay.
But yeah, virtually that's around that
Is that most of your services virtual?
number. For intervention, yes.
Okay. And then I have another question in reference to your prevention set. Now, what does that look like? Like as far as like the first night session, what does that look like? Is it just getting to know them, or do you have a curriculum that you go by?
Yeah, for our prevention program, we do have a set curriculum,
Mhm.
especially for our elementary aged groups, because, excuse me,
Mhm.
we hope to see them like the first year, which we call our phase 1 group. So we see them for the first time. And that first group is really just building rapport, getting to know them, make sure they feel safe and comfortable with us.
Mhm.
And then we'll see them each week afterwards as well with our curriculum, because our Faces Nonviolent Leadership curriculum uses the Duluth model and the
Yeah.
7 habits of, oh, I lost it, but it's seven habits of something.
Okay.
We use those. So we have that set curriculum,
Okay.
and we'll tend to see them every year until they graduate elementary school.
Okay.
And then we use that curriculum as well within our other services. So in youth support, is a group for the kiddos while their parents or guardians are in their in-person support groups. So we'll use our programming there, give them the language, of course, age appropriate, as
Right.
the ages from is toddler to like 14 years old. So we'll see kids in there, and then even in our L Plus support group, we'll use our curriculum there too.
It's amazing. Oh, wow. So when it comes to, what do you guys see when it comes to clients? What do you notice when it comes to, when you get a person coming in and they're dealing with trauma? Like, what is it that you guys are seeing? Is it more of like relationship stuff? Is it more of like the bullying? What is it that you guys are seeing mostly? I'm just curious. Yeah, it's a good question.
really
Yeah.
I know with support clients, these are survivors of domestic violence, and domestic violence is so broad.
Yeah.
So we can see anything from just someone suffering a lot of verbal violence, and they a lot of times will say, but my partner doesn't hit me and my partner
Right.
doesn't physically abuse me, but they do this.
Mhm.
Or we've seen a big increase in like harassment and stalking. And there has actually in the city right now, there's statistics out that they have seen a huge increase in like strangulation cases within the prosecutor's office too. So we know like the violence isn't going down, and I don't know if like as a city we're doing anything to address the violence, especially that women of color are going
Right.
through right now.
Mm.
So, what are some of you guys' suggestion on not only getting the information out to the community, but what are some of your ideas on doing enough, to help the victims or your clientele on the city level?
Yeah. I think as community members here, we need to understand that like violence is not one size fits all. A survivor is not going to be this perfect survivor who wants to do everything, that the Center for Nonviolence is telling them to do, or the victim assistance offices or law enforcement is telling them to do. You have to meet people where they are. So if someone comes and speaks to me and they don't want to leave their partner, I can't push them
That's
to leave their
right, yeah.
partner. I have to meet them where they are. I have to safety plan with them. I have to at least give them information and resources so that whenever they do want to make a choice, they at least have the knowledge. Because someone comes in maybe not knowing what's out there, what resources are out there, and at least I've done my job if I can at least give them the resources. That way they at least forever will have the information.
And you say you partner with victim assistance?
We
victims?
refer a lot of I refer a lot of my clients to work with victim assistance if they want to, if they want to pursue like criminal charges.
Gotcha.
Because they're easier, they have more access to the judicial system than I would have as an advocate at a different organization.
Now, is that connected, victim assistance, is that connected with the Fort Wayne Police Department?
They work hand in hand with the
Okay.
police department, yes.
Yeah. So let's break down what is abuse. You had kind of shared some of that, and I think the audience definitely needs to know, like, it's not all physical. Because when you think about abuse, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Like, okay, if I'm in this abusive relationship, I'm getting beaten, punched and all that, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah. So within our curriculum, we use what we call the power and control wheel. And so on that wheel, it's like a visual that has a lot of tactics that can be used within the realm of violence. And a lot of these, they're not physical, right? They're nonverbal, verbal. There's a lot of things that fall underneath those different categories. Like there can be interactions that are, based in minimizing a person or denying their reality, just making them seem like they're less than you and you're just exerting this control and really having this negative impact that's really harming their life.
I know in our support group, we do this curriculum that's called like violence inventory, and we divide it up into like physical, verbal, non-physical, non-verbal, and then self-violence. And it gets the physical violence is sometimes it's very easy for folks to identify. But then we start getting into like the verbal or the non-verbal, non-physical, and that starts getting a little bit harder for folks to identify some of the violences that can be used there, like that financial violence.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And like what's that word? Just left my mind. Like intimidation or isolation from friends and family. Like those kind of go into like non-physical, non-verbal, and then the self-violence too. Like what do we do to ourselves that's violent to like our physical being,
or even animals.
Yeah,
That's a big one too.
So what about cyberbullying? Like particularly for the youth, do you see a lot of that? And then what does that look like as far as helping those individuals maneuver through that?
Yeah, we have seen some cases of youth coming to us when there's cyberbullying going on. And when that had happened, I think the youth just really needed to let out that this is even going on. Because sometimes with cyberbullying, they may be too afraid to even express to their parents or express to another safe adult that this is even going on, just fear of more retaliation. But within cyberbullying, we provide the tools and like their choices of what they can do in that moment, and make sure they see the ripples of effects that could happen if you retaliate with more violence. Like, what could happen then? It could just keep getting bigger and bigger. So giving them the options of like, how can you use your leadership skills in this moment to see like, what can I do to make sure this doesn't happen? And what are my choices to get more adults involved if it is getting very severe?
Yeah.
Do you see good? I'm sorry, Miss Crystal. Do you see a positive turnaround, particularly for the youth, when you guys get in there with the prevention and then trying to redirect, I guess, with the violence? I mean, the bullying. Now, do you see more positive results or outcome?
Yeah, I would say so. We do have like a pre-post test type of deal with our prevention services, but where you really see the outcome in their behavior. You see how they're acting, how they're responding, how they're using leadership, not just in our leadership room, but outside the classroom. Like how they're bringing that into their homes, within their friends, and outside in the community. So yeah, I would say there is a really good positive effect within our prevention programming.
Okay. Yep.
I was wondering, and again, not to bring up a negative point, but I feel like with a lot of places, if you work with people, funding is always an issue. But what would you say you guys' biggest hurdle is as far as, accomplishing the goals you want in the community?
Aside from funding,
Right.
That's the first one. Yeah.
because we're very small organization. like there's been times where they have intentionally decided not to grow. Now we're seeing that we need to grow our services, and funding has been one of the reasons why we're not able to sometimes grow our services, because we can't afford to pay additional staff. And but if other than funding, I think it's also like fear to reach out for services. Our name is pretty intimidating. I mean, like Center for Nonviolence. And before, I think this last year, we've been doing a better job of exposing our services. Because sometimes when I would table events, and I bet Elena and Brandon can say the same, people are like, oh, you guys are the anger management classes. I'm like, no, we actually don't even have anger management classes. But we offer like prevention services. We offer support services too. It's just intimidating to reach out, because it's like airing out your dirty laundry. You don't want other people to know what's going on at home.
So how many full-time staff do you have? And then maybe part-time as well?
Full time.
I'm trying to include like our new hires
People
now.
work from home too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I know I'm a full time staff.
Yeah, we're all full time.
We're all full time
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
That's good to know, though.
I'd say we have maybe 10 full time staff.
Okay.
Because we have full time at the Center for Nonviolence is like 30 to 35 hours. And then part time is like 20 to 25.
Yeah, anything below 30 would be our part time.
And then we have some staff that are like very part time too, that are only facilitating like specific groups. Like we have one staff member, she only facilitates the sister to sister group, and she works somewhere else also. So she is not there much with us, but the group that she's facilitating is really important.
Okay.
So what do you guys, when it comes to like population, who do you guys serve the most? Is it more of like the African American, Latinas, or just a melting pot, or just a variety of people?
I think within our prevention programming, since we keep our services kind of located to our home base. So the elementary schools that we work in tend to be on the south side of Fort Wayne. And so a lot of the kids that we work with do happen to be from Hispanic households or African American families. And so, yeah, we see a good variety of different demographics within our groups. We also have we have teachers fill out forms in their selection process for the kiddos, and we ask for a variety of youth to be in our program. So it's always good to have like those different varieties of faces to see in our programming. That's part of the reason why our groups are called Faces Nonviolent Leadership. I think it's to really encourage that diversity.
I love that. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think in support and advocacy, my role is pretty unique because I only serve Hispanic women. Not because I can't serve other clients, just the demand is really high. The Center for Nonviolence was one of the first like organizations in Fort Wayne that was providing services in Spanish. So that we grew a pretty good connection with the community, and most of our clients, in at least for me, they're all mostly word of mouth, honestly. So, somebody used our services, they're recommending their friend, they're recommending their aunt. We're trying to grow our sister to sister programming, which is a support group for Black women of color. And we just hired an advocate too, so she can start seeing why we aren't connecting with Black women as much, trying to offer, because we know the services are needed. So, and she has a really good connection. She's well known in the community, so we're super excited for that.
Ooh, I love that.
You guys take volunteers too, or you get volunteers there as far as staff goes? Okay.
Volunteer like application on our website.
Okay.
You can get connected there with us.
Cool.
And with our newsletter too. We have a newsletter that goes out every month. So we won't spam you. So just like upcoming information, events what's going on in our.
I love that.
Awesome.
Do you guys ever have to advocate like in a court case or at court for your clients?
I've been subpoenaed a couple times.
Okay.
I have, but we have a really nice confidentiality policy. So whenever I do get subpoenaed, we work a lot with the Coalition Against Domestic Violence for the state of Indiana. I've been lucky enough to reach out to their head attorney. She can usually get me out of that subpoena by just reaching out to the prosecutor, because everything somebody comes in and tells us, it's confidential.
Right.
We don't want,
Yes,
like,
right.
sometimes, they're trying to use whatever our testimony is, not just in their favor, but they can question us about anything else. So it's never, I've never wanted to be actually gone
Right,
for that
right.
interview. So I'm really thankful that I've been able to get out of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's about that trust.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, referrals. That's
Yeah.
like the best form of like advertisement. That trust. I mean, you gotta have that.
Yeah, and if they call us maybe as like an expert witness, that would be better, but not to speak about their specific case.
Right. So we're coming to the end of the podcast. And I just want to ask each of you, like you said, you've been there for a while now, serving in the capacity at the center. And so what is it that fulfills you guys? Like when it comes to, the clients that you serve and just seeing like the progress and just the work that you guys are doing individually.
Well, for me personally, I think something that brings me a lot of joy and really pushes me forward is the work that I do with kids.
Yeah.
Just seeing their faces and like how much they can light up in doing any of our activities, or just the way that they're learning to and engaging with the process that we have with them. I think that's really, that brightens up my week. And as far as my work with intervention, I think I'm still in training, so there's a lot for me to learn, but I'm picking up that like the importance of the work lies in its relation to restorative justice and how that, the cycle of violence can be interrupted, and ultimately there's a hope to end it,
Most definitely.
and, there's change that can be made in that process. So I think intervention has its place in ending that cycle of violence. And it takes a lot of courage on the part of the participants as well as those who are doing the work. So that pushes me a lot too.
Right. That's good.
I love that. Okay. Go ahead, Brandon. Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the kiddos and seeing their own growth within themselves. Because, sometimes like we're the first kind of adults that can like plant those seeds for them to be a safe adult to be around.
Right.
And so that just gives me a lot of joy and hope for the future that, they're taking in those skills and utilizing that all around them and spreading the word with everyone. Because, youth are our future.
Yes. Come on.
Let's go.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah. I think for me, my favorite part of my job is the support groups. I like to see the community the women build amongst each other, seeing them first come to group, how maybe they're reserved, they don't want to speak much during the sessions, but then they start to get to know each other. They start to build friendships outside of the groups. We've seen some ladies, like some beautiful stories have come out of that group, because there's been some times where first they're coming to group like on the bus and like outside they'll make friends, and then they come and they start learning how to drive because they're helping each other or they're picking up each other. And we, aside just from talking about support, we also do stuff with the community. So through this group, we started like having our Dia de los Muertos ofrenda at the art museum. And now that's something that we've been doing for like the last 15 years. So it's really beautiful to see them grow. And I learn a lot from them too.
I love that. So again, we have the Center of Nonviolence in our studio on our podcast tonight. And so I want to wrap up with you guys give y'all address. How can the community get in contact with the center?
Yeah. Our website is Center for Nonviolence, or centerfornv.org, and our phone number is 260-456-4112. You can reach us there. Go to our website. We also can be contacted via email. So if calling isn't an option, you can go on our website there, and there's an option for getting contact via text or by email that works best for you.
Wow.
Cool.
All right. So that's our show, everybody. I hope everyone was able to grab some good nuggets, because again, this is so needed, and we appreciate you guys for what you continue to do. Like, I love that you guys are a beacon in our community. For sure.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So please check us out first and third Friday of each month. Your mental health matters. Protect your mind.
Protect your mind. Grab your nuggets. Grab your nuggets.